The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTEST.com, and today we're having a look at the Tidewater 198cc Adventure, powered by the all-new 140 horsepower Evinrude E-TEC G2, a new outboard built on the engine manufacturer's 1.9-liter three-cylinder powerhead. This new engine uses direct in-the-cylinder fuel injection and has power steering. Let's see how the combination of the Tidewater 198cc and the Evinrude E-TEC G2 140 outboard performs. The boat has a length of 19 feet 8 inches and a beam of 8 feet 4 inches. With an empty weight of 1,950 pounds, 56 gallons of fuel and 2 people on board, we had an estimated test weight of 3,120 pounds. With the Evinrude E-TEC G2 140 outboard powering our test boat and turning a 14.5 by 19 RX3 stainless steel prop, we reached the top speed of 41.8 miles per hour at 5,500 RPM. Best economic cruise came in at 3,500 RPM and 24.3 miles per hour. It was at that speed that the 4.2 gallon per hour fuel burn translated into 5.8 miles per gallon and a range of 291 statute miles. For acceleration, the Tidewater 198cc got on plane in an average time of 4.2 seconds and went from 0 to 20 miles per hour in an average of 5.1 seconds, and 30 came and went in 8.7. These are the kind of whole shot numbers that we might expect to see with a 6 or 8 cylinder engine, but remember that the Evinrude 140 engine has just 3 cylinders and weighs only 415 pounds, and performs just as well or better. The reason is because it's a 2-stroke engine and every stroke is a power stroke. Where the new Evinrude 140 really shines on the Tidewater 198 is at trolling speeds from 4 to 6.5 miles an hour running at 1,000 to 1,500 RPM. We recorded fuel efficiency numbers of 13 miles per gallon at 1,000 RPM and 4.6 miles per hour and 7.5 miles per gallon at 1,500 and going 6.4 miles per hour. When we compared these trolling fuel consumption numbers with the only other 140 horsepower engine on the market and its performance in a half a dozen similar boats, we found that the new Evinrude 140 was 73% more fuel efficient at 1,000 RPM and 25% more fuel efficient at both 1,500 RPM and best cruise. The reason is that when it comes to trolling speeds, no 4-stroke engine can lay a hand on Evinrude's new G2 2-stroke engine in terms of fuel efficiency. While we didn't see challenging conditions in the harbor where we conducted our test, we ran the Tidewater through some wakes to show how she knocked down spray and settled down quickly after each pass. With the standard Evinrude iTrim system and internal steering, the Tidewater gave us a responsive platform to handle our test conditions with ease. These features are part of what Evinrude calls a driver-centric experience that help elevate the enjoyment of driving, which should be fun and easy. There's nothing worse than fighting a boat pulling to one side without power steering or the aggravation of not being able to find the right trim. Beginners too will appreciate the iTrim feature. Let's have a look at the deck layout and features of this affordable center console. Starting at the stern, the outboard is mounted in the third hole in a well that has its lowest point 12 inches above the waterline. Even with this very low transom, because the Evinrude engine has the highest tilt in the industry at 81 degrees, it tilts well out of the water. And because the rigging tube doesn't move as the outboard turns and steering is internal, the outboard well is kept uncluttered, making way for beverage holders flanking 3 0-degree rod holders. A hatch in the deck grants access to bilge pumps and other systems. Next to it are 2 cockpit drains, although we'd like to see less restrictive plates covering them. On the starboard aft quarter is a covered receptacle for the white all-around running light. Each aft quarter has a pull-up cleat to manage dock lines and fenders. The 3-step reboarding ladder reaches 15 inches below the waterline. A grab handle placed nearby would be welcome if this boat is going to be used as a swimming platform. Crew seating in the cockpit consists of 2 upholstered jump seats that flip up. The seats are 15.5 inches wide, and riders will be held firmly in place by the gunnels outboard and the fiberglass armrest inside. Handholds on the outside of the armrest would be welcome. The aft cockpit measures 6 feet 3 inches wide by 3 feet 4 and aft. It has a depth of 20 inches on the sides, and there are bolsters. Recessed racks hold 2 rods on each side under the gunnels. To port is an optional raw water outlet. Our test boat had an optional tubular frame leaning post with a 35-inch high grab rail wrapping around the back and 4 rocket launchers aft. A 38-inch wide seat that measures 15 inches fore and aft is upholstered with contrasting fabrics as part of the standard Sahara interior. It has an upholstered 12.5-inch high backrest with contrasting stitching and a custom logo stamped into the material. A locker under the seat stows smaller items and latches shut. The molded helm console is 36 inches wide. It has a standard stainless steel wheel with knob and optional tilt base offset to the port side. To starboard is the ignition with safety kill switch and lanyard, and then the Evinrude Icon 2 Premium EST single engine control binnacle, which has LEDs indicating forward, neutral, and reverse, as well as a neutral button that allows the engine to be revved out of gear. The Evinrude throttle and shift has digital control as standard equipment, and its binnacle is mounted by Tidewater in a nearly vertical position. Above the binnacle are Evinrude's 2 round Nautilus 3 LCD screens, which have soft touch buttons to display speed, RPM, trim angle, temperature, fuel flow, throttle setting, fuel level and oil levels, and much more, along with having Evinrude's standard iTrim, iSteer, and winterization functions easy at hand. Most of these functions are not standard on other engine brands. The helm has a switch panel to starboard to operate the boat's electrical systems, and there's a stereo control head above. The helm panel is 15 inches high in front of the helm, with usable space for mounting electronics that's 13.5 inches wide. There's a molded tray in the console top that drains forward. That could use a rubber panel to help items stay put. A compass is an option on this boat. There's a molded-in footrest with a cubby for stowing odds and ends, and a glove box with lift and pull latch. The port side of the console has a door measuring 17.5 inches by 33.5 inches to access a large, unfinished but painted locker. There is a curtain over the wires coming from the helm dash. The starboard side of the console has a locker that stows 3 tackle trays. A curving 12-inch high acrylic windshield redirected the wind and added little distortion. The 14.5-inch high grab handle curved around the sides of the console. The optional bimini unfolds easily and provided welcome shade over the helm and console, but it's unobtrusive when folded. We recommend this option for most applications. There's a 21-inch wide walkway to either side of the console to make it easy to get around when the bite is on or the kids want to crowd into the forward seating area. This space starts with a forward-facing seat on the front of the console measuring 30.5 inches wide with an upholstered backrest affixed to the console. Forward, 2 50-inch long benches meet at the bow where the gun will serve as 10-inch high backrests, each with 5-inch high bolster. There's a 30-inch footwell between the seats at the aft end, and the gap is 12.5 inches forward. Each seat flips up to reveal a 34-inch long locker with a drain. A stainless gas assist strut holds the back gel lid open with a twist and lock latch to keep it closed. The cushions are optional and snap into place. Recessed handholds keep everyone safe when conditions get rough, and are recessed into the coaming to avoid snags. Both port and starboard bow seats have optional fold-out backrests that lock into position to allow comfortable legs-up lounging. The backrest provides support 13.5 inches above the seat cushion. At the foredeck is a pull-up cleat on the center line forward of the hatch. Inside there's an anchor locker and a 12-inch oval access to the road locker below. So that's our inspection and performance report on the Tidewater 198cc Adventure powered by an Evinrude E-TEC G2 140 outboard. This is an economical package for inshore and nearshore boaters. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.